The bomb-proof pack with 1000 denier cordura and a lifetime warranty costs less than the $500 Tumi with the ballistic nylon badge. The warranty Tumi quietly killed in 2004. The smart traveler buys the cordura, not the campaign. 7 travel backpacks robbing you blind, 5 worth every penny. You know the feeling. You're in the airport shop staring at a wall of black backpacks that cost as much as the flight. A quiet voice asks whether any bag is worth that. It is not. The wall is selling you a logo and a story. Here is what to buy instead. Number 1. Tumi. Let me be fair before I am blunt, because Tumi earns the courtesy. The ballistic nylon Tumi built its name on is genuinely tough fabric, tightly woven, abrasion-resistant, a real material with real durability. I will not pretend otherwise. Tumi's Alpha line wraps that fabric in genuinely good organization, and the build quality is real. But good fabric and good pockets do not add up to a $500 gap over a pack that does the same job. The problem is everything stacked on top of it. A Tumi backpack runs $400 to $600. The fabric does not explain that number. The silver badge does. And here is the part the brand stopped advertising. Tumi was once famous for an unconditional lifetime warranty, the kind that made the high price feel like an investment. In 2004, under private equity owner Doughty Hanson, that promise was quietly cut to a limited term. The bag that was supposed to be forever got an expiration date on its coverage. Today, Tumi is Samsonite owned, sitting in the same portfolio as the budget brands. It charges luxury money for good not magic nylon. The label is never the pack. You pay $500 for tough fabric you could get for $200, plus a warranty weaker than what a $150 Hero offers. The fabric is real. The price is fiction. And the second brand does not even have the fabric story to fall back on. Number 2. Away. I will give you the verdict straight. Away is a marketing company that happens to sell bags. The brand was built on a podcast ad blitz and a relentless color drop calendar, an aesthetic engineered for the airport selfie. The packs themselves are competent, coated nylon and polyester, decent zippers, fine on a weekend trip. The company raised tens of millions in venture funding and poured it into making you recognize the bag, not into making it outlast the trip. Recognition is not durability, and you cannot check recognition at the gate. But competent is not what you are paying for. You are paying for the campaign that put the bag in front of you 40 times before you bought it. Here is the test that matters. Strip the marketing away and set an Away pack next to a Hero from the back half of this list. Same price or lower. The Away loses on fabric weight. It loses on suspension. It loses on the warranty too. Away backs its bags with a limited warranty, not the lifetime the Heroes put in writing. It wins only on how often you have seen it advertised. That is not a build advantage. That is an ad budget. The smart traveler learned this years ago. A brand spending its money on your attention is spending less of it on your bag. You fund the brand. The bag is just the receipt. The third brand sells you something even thinner than a campaign. It sells you a history that was invented. Number 3. Herschel. Pick up a Herschel backpack and everything about it whispers heritage. The vintage typography, the mountain peak logo, the signature striped liner like it was lifted from a 1940s steamer trunk. It is designed to make you feel a century of craftsmanship in your hands. Here is the truth. Herschel was founded in 2009. The name comes from Herschel, Saskatchewan, a tiny prairie town where the founder's grandparents once lived. That is the entire heritage. A grandparent's hometown and a graphic design choice. There is nothing wrong with the brand being young. There is something wrong with charging a premium for a past you manufactured. The bags themselves are basic, roughly 600 denier polyester, ordinary zippers, that pretty striped lining doing the heavy emotional lifting. For the price, you are buying the feeling of legacy, not the function of one. Its signature Little America pack is, at heart, a handsome school bag for grown men. There is nothing wrong with that, right up until the price climbs as if it were an expedition piece. No real suspension, no load support for actual travel. It is a competent daily commuter bag wearing a costume. The label is never the pack, and here, the label is a period drama. The fourth brand skips the fake history and just sells you the photograph. Number 4. Béis. If you watched our luggage breakdowns, you know this name and you know the pattern. Béis is influencer-founded and style-first. Built for the way the bag looks on camera, not the way it carries on your back. The packs are heavy for what they actually hold. You feel the weight before you have packed a thing. The zippers and hardware are generic, the kind that function on day 1 and start to drag by month 6. It was founded by an actress and sold to her audience, a fine way to launch a brand and a poor way to engineer a shoulder strap. The weight you feel is the cost of the look, and the price is set by the aesthetic and the campaign, not by anything inside the seams. I want to be fair. If you want a bag that photographs beautifully in a neutral palette for a short trip, Béis delivers exactly that. But that is a fashion accessory, not a travel pack. Load it for a real journey, and the gap opens fast. A full day in transit. A packed overhead bin. A sprint between gates. Beautiful in the picture, ordinary on the shoulders. You are paying for the art direction, not the engineering. The 5th brand I have to handle with care. It genuinely earned its reputation before it started trading on it. Number 5. Fjällräven Kånken. Credit where it is due, and the due here is real. The Kånken was designed in 1978 in Sweden. The fabric is a tough synthetic called Vinylon F, and the reason it existed was a good one, to spare school children's backs from the strain of badly designed bags. It worked. It became a Swedish institution because it solved a real problem honestly. I respect the original intent completely, but here the modern reality parts ways with the legend. Today, the Kånken sells for $80 to $100. A large part of that price is the Fox logo and the fashion status it now carries. City streets far from any Swedish schoolyard. More important for anyone watching this for travel advice, the Kånken is a flat, frameless, unstructured bag. No suspension, no load-bearing support, no hip belt, no frame sheet. Nothing to transfer weight off your shoulders. It is charming and it is durable for what it is. But Fjällräven itself makes serious trekking packs with real frames and hip belts. The Kånken is simply not one of them, and it was never meant to be. It is not a travel pack. Load it for a real trip, and your shoulders file a complaint by the second hour. You are buying the look and the story, not the carry. The 6th brand borrows its whole identity from a flag it does not own. Number 6. SwissGear. Quick question. What exactly makes a SwissGear bag Swiss? The answer is a licensing agreement. SwissGear trades on the Red and White Cross and the Swiss Army Association. That imagery does enormous work in your head before you have even unzipped it. It implies precision, military issue, alpine toughness. Now here is the part worth getting right. The SwissGear name traces to Wenger, one of the 2 original Swiss Army knife makers, and Victorinox bought Wenger back in 2005. So the Swiss lineage in the name is real. But the bags are not made by the knife maker. In North America, they are produced under license by a brand house called Group 3 International. Ordinary polyester assembled overseas, wearing a heritage that lives in the logo, not in the factory. The cross is licensed, not earned. Now, to be fair, a SwissGear pack is a perfectly competent airport bag. The laptop compartments are sensible. The price is moderate. It will get you through a few years of travel without drama. But it is priced a notch above what the plain fabric and hardware would command alone. And that notch is the Flag and Cross Association you are renting. Strip the Swiss imagery off the front. Put the identical bag on the shelf under a no-name label. The price drops, and you walk right past it. That is the whole trick. You are paying a premium for a Swiss heritage the bag itself does not carry. The 7th and final villain sells you the opposite of heritage. It sells you feature overload. Number 7. Nomatic. Here is the spec shock because Nomatic comes at you with more features than any bag on this list. Hidden pockets, magnetic straps, cable pass-throughs, a compartment for everything, and a diagram to explain them all. The packs run $250 to $400, launched on crowdfunding hype, sold on sheer feature density. And feature density is exactly the sleight of hand. When a bag dazzles you with 30 pockets, you stop asking the 2 questions that matter. How tough is the fabric, and what happens when it fails? On the second one, the Nomatic story gets thinner. The warranty is a limited one. It covers defects, not the no questions asked, any reason coverage Osprey and GoRuck put in writing for life. So you are paying a premium for the number of features, not for durability you can lean on for 20 years. The smart traveler counts the warranty years, not the pockets. 30 compartments do not patch a torn seam. A clamshell and a hip belt do more for an actual journey than a magnetic strap ever will. But the real packs never went away. The ones that earn the money. Here are 5 of them. First, Osprey. If you remember one name from this entire video, make it this one. Osprey backs every pack with the almighty guarantee. In the United States, they will repair any Osprey product, from any era, for any reason, free of charge. Damage it yourself, buy it secondhand, drag it through a decade of abuse. They fix it. That is the strongest warranty in the category. And it is not marketing language. It is a repair operation that actually honors it. The bags earn the backing too. Real load-bearing suspension. A proper frame sheet that transfers weight to your hips instead of hanging it off your shoulders. Ventilated back panels so you are not soaked through on a long carry. At roughly $150 to $200, an Osprey outcarries every $500 fashion pack above it. Then it outlives them. Then it gets repaired free if it ever wears. This is the value king of travel gear. Its Farpoint and Fairview travel line gives you that same almighty backing in a clamshell built for one-bag trips, one purchase, and a warranty on the pack, honored for as long as you own it. The smart traveler buys this once and stops shopping. The second hero shrugs off weather the way Osprey shrugs off years. Second, Patagonia Black Hole. Look at the fabric first, because that is where this one wins. The Black Hole is built from recycled ripstop with a TPU film coating. That makes it genuinely weatherproof, not just water-resistant in a marketing sense. Rain, grime, a drop duffel on a wet tarmac. It shrugs all of it off and wipes clean. Behind it stands Patagonia's ironclad guarantee. If the bag fails for a reason the company stands behind, they repair it, replace it, or refund it. Around $150 puts a weatherproof, warranty-backed pack on your back. Less than a third of what the Silver Badge brand charges for coated nylon and a shrunken warranty. And there is a second dividend here. Patagonia builds this from recycled material. It runs a repair network designed to keep the bag out of a landfill, which means the thing is built to be kept, not replaced. That is the entire philosophy the fashion brands inverted. Patagonia's Worn Wear program will even resell your old pack rather than watch it hit a landfill. Buy once, repair forever. The label is never the pack, and Patagonia prints that promise on the warranty card. The third hero is built specifically for the job the villains only pretend to do. Third, Cotopaxi Alpa. Let me put it in a direct comparison because it is the cleanest one in the video. The away pack asks you to pay more to do the travel job worse. The Cotopaxi Alpa does that exact job better for around $200. This is a purpose-built travel pack, not a commuter bag with travel marketing. TPU coated, weather-resistant fabric, a clamshell opening that lays flat like a suitcase so you can actually pack and find your things. Full suspension with a real hip belt that carries the load on your frame through a long day in transit. And a strong warranty standing behind the whole thing. The Alpa earned a near-cult following among one-bag travelers for a simple reason. It does everything the expensive names claim to do, and it does it for the price of their marketing budget. You are not paying for a podcast ad here. You are paying for a clamshell, a hip belt, and a coated shell that survives the trip. Cotopaxi also runs as a Gear for Good company, sending a slice of profit toward poverty relief. The Alpa comes in a 35 and a 42-liter, both sized for the overhead bin. The fourth hero specializes even harder. Fourth, Tortuga. Here is the question Tortuga answers that almost no one else on this list even asks. What does a backpack look like when it is designed for nothing but travel? Not commuting, not the gym, not the photo. The trip. Tortuga is the travel backpack specialist, built around the one-bag traveler who refuses to check luggage. Sailcloth and recycled fabrics that hold their shape and shrug off weather. A clamshell opening that turns the pack into a proper suitcase. And here is the part that separates it from the flat fashion bags up top. Genuine load-carrying suspension, engineered to move real weight across a real distance comfortably. At $200 to $350, it sits in the same price territory as the villains, and it spends every dollar on the carry instead of the campaign. This is the pack built for the journey, not the lookbook. If you have ever finished a travel day with aching shoulders from a bag with no business calling itself travel gear, Tortuga is the correction. Its main pack opens flat to 40 liters, sized right to the carry-on limit, so you board without checking a thing. The fifth and final hero is the one you do not replace. You hand it down. Fifth, GoRuck. Here is the insider pick, the one the people who actually punish their gear swear by. GoRuck builds its packs from 1,000 denier cordura, the genuinely bomb-proof fabric the hook opened on. It built its name making them in the United States, and it still sells USA-made versions of the GR1. Much of the line moved to Vietnam back in 2019 to hold the price down, but the SCAR's lifetime warranty covers both, and the build standard held. These bags were tested by people who dragged them through mud, water, and abuse that would destroy every fashion pack above tenfold. Behind that build sits the SCAR's lifetime warranty, named for the wear a real pack earns and covering it for life. The warranty even transfers with the bag, not just the first owner. $250 to $400 buys you the heirloom grade pick, the exact opposite of the silver badge bag at the top that charges more and backs it less. This is the pack you buy once, use for 20 years, and hand down still working. The smart traveler figured this out long ago. The carousel and the overhead bin punish every bag the same way. So he buys the cordura and the lifetime warranty, not the logo and the campaign. The badge wears out. The cordura does not. The GR1, its flagship, started as a rucking pack for people who train with weight loaded on their backs. If it survives that punishment, it will survive your layover. So here is the whole thing in one breath. Read the fabric and the weight of it. 1,000 denier cordura outlives coated poly every time. Read the suspension. A real frame sheet and hip belt beat a flat panel and a prayer. And read the warranty. Lifetime and honored beats a promise that got quietly cut in 2004. Do that, and the $500 wall stops making any sense at all. I'm Bill. I read the build, not the logo. If you missed our breakdown on the luggage brands you must stop buying, it is linked below. Same markup story. Same parent companies behind it. And our video on the shoe brands you must stop buying covers the identical pattern at 232,000 views. Subscribe. This channel reads the build, not the logo.